So one of my personal heroes, Dorothy Day, she used to say, "My strength returns to me with my cup of coffee and the reading of the Psalms." Nowadays, we all may be finding ourselves with more of those moments where we're losing our strength. It could be from working, from staying at home. It could be from depression or angst, or simply because. No reason given at this point in the midst of a pandemic. I've lost my strength just because. So maybe, like Dorothy Day, you're sitting at home with a cup of coffee, having just scrolled through Facebook and clicked on this Mass here at the shrine. Hopefully, like Dorothy Day, you too may find some strength in that cup of coffee and today's psalm. Let us turn again to the words of Psalm 89, where we all just prayed, "Forever I will sing the goodness of the Lord." Then Psalm 89 goes on to talk about King David. David, the overlooked son of Jesse. David, who had many failures and learned from them all. We are all like David. Anointed at our baptisms, we were chosen by God to bring the goodness of the Lord into the world. And like David, we do this through our faithfulness, as we proclaimed in that psalm, but also with our frailty. Don't we all have David moments? Our failures, when we make an absolute mess of things. But remember, our failures are our greatest teachers. So says the Jedi Yoda from Star Wars. Yoda, whose name in Hebrew means one who knows. David, a lot like Yoda he was. Think about it for just a moment. The Lord told Samuel to find a new king, to find David, and the description that the Lord gave to Samuel was, "Don't judge by a good appearance or the height of his stature, for human beings look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks in the heart." So David, like Yoda, was found to be short, not all that good-looking compared to his brothers. I imagine his ears might have stuck out quite a bit, and like Yoda, David has been called throughout the centuries, one who knows. One who knows what it is to be loved by God, to be called by God, and frequently finds himself in the middle of a mess. And sometimes the mess was of his own making, sometimes the making of others, and many times life itself was just a mess. Like King David, like the good characters from Star Wars, like Dorothy Day, we all trust and are faithful to something or someone bigger than ourselves. So that whatever life throws our way, whatever problem we find ourselves in, no matter how far we drift or make a mess of things, or when we just step in a pile of mess, we're all assured of the goodness of God, God who is always with us. The messes of our lives. In suffering from disease or cancer or coronavirus or abuse or violence, God is with us. Suffering addictions or mental disorders or sitting in depression or anxiety, God is with us. In grieving the loss of a loved one or of a job, God is with us. In feeling marginalized because of sexual orientation, or lonely in marriage or family, God is with us. In feeling isolated for being an immigrant or a refugee, God is with us. In being overlooked because you're forgotten, because you're a senior citizen, or being plagued with uncertainty or misunderstood and judged, God is with us. In being hungry, homeless, lost, or being full, rich, and lost, God is with us. in feeling paralyzed in trying to help and alleviate suffering that is beyond us, in making mistakes and failing ourselves and others. God is with us. Yes, God is with us in the midst of the mess of our lives, in our difficulties, our mistakes, our sufferings, our misunderstandings and our failures, and the failures of those who were supposed to care for and look out for us. My sisters and brothers, we can learn to make sense of the mess that we call life and discern what is good and right, what is merciful and just by engaging the Psalms. Songs that touch our very real emotions and feelings. With Dorothy Day, we can pour that cup of coffee and, searching for strength, turn to the Psalms. So that when we feel abandonment, we read Psalm 22. We're looking for peace when we're afraid. We turn to Psalm 55. Angry, try Psalm 79. Searching for serenity, Psalm 62. In depression, when darkness seems to be your closest friend, turn instead to Psalm 88. Disappointed, we go to Psalm 107, uncertain, 19, restless, 42, or outraged, 137. And the Psalms go on and on. Looking for strength in the midst of a mess, let us pour a cup of coffee and read the Psalms, many of which were written by King David himself, the king of messes, who, despite everything and bad decisions that affected many, David always learned from his mistakes as well as the mistakes of others. And he always remained, as we said in today's Psalm 89, faithful to God, while in the midst of feeling every possible feeling and emotion that's out there. The Psalms are how David and Dorothy Day learned and found a way to forever sing the goodness of the Lord while finding their strength again. Like them, in the midst of the messes that we find ourselves in at any given moment, we too can trust that God is with us. Or, as one who knows might have said in a time and place far, far away, with us God is, his goodness we sing.